Hello, thank you for joining me today on the Daily Reflection. We're doing the Places of Opposites reading with the OSHO Zen Tarot. Looking at the energies and these daily opposites, sorry, not daily opposites, Places of Opposites readings encompass a 10-day window. They go from the weekend prior to this Wednesday all the way through next weekend to the following Wednesday. So it gives you, and they overlap. So it gives you a sense of flow, gives you a sense of how things unfold, what things are ending, what things are beginning. And looking at this 10-day window and the things that have transpired in the world and the things that I have noticed, it's really a call for more connection to yourself, more connection to the reality of your life. Not the life that you are fed by the media, about what's happening in the world, about what's happening on TV shows, about what's happening, but really connecting into the reality of your day-to-day life and how you feel in those moments when you're not being pushed information from the outside. But when you're in that moment of purely living your life, are you excited? Are you enthusiastic? Are you tired? Are you bored? Are you overwhelmed? Does your life feed you? Is it giving to you? Is it something you're just existing in? Most of the time we will latch on to those things of the outer world because we don't want to look at our inner world. And opposite of that, a lot of times, the outer world will come crashing in and threaten our inner world when really it's not that we're not connected to it, because we are, and we are part of it. And there's a lot of group agreements going on right now, spiritual contracts on a planetary level. But if you look at your day-to-day life, I want you to take some time to really look at that and to experience what you're experiencing without the input from social media, without the input from the television, without even, the input of friends and family. Look at your daily life and be honest with yourself. If it is not filling you with enthusiasm and excitement, maybe it's time to explore why. Maybe it's time to explore what things you have created that are occurring on a day-to-day basis that you're ready to let go of. And that transition can be quick, that transition can be painless, that transition can be rough and drawn out, and it doesn't maybe even need to be a transition. Maybe it's simply putting your attention on your daily life makes it more enthusiastic. So anyway, take time to look at that. Find what is really working in your day-to-day life. And if your day-to-day life, the connections with your friends, your family, what you're doing does excite you, do not let the group agreements of the outer world take that from you. Hold it sacred. It is your sacred creation, your sacred life. So make sure you are creating and experiencing to the best of your ability exactly where you want to be. And if you're not, that you really allow yourself to look at what needs to change or what needs to stay the same, what needs to be pursued more. So, all right. As always, I just pray with the cards as I shuffle them that these readings will find people in the moments, find timing just for them, and that it is in the right timing for them, and that it furthers their spiritual growth, their awareness of themselves and their lives. All right, card for the top. Top card is the things that we are aware of going on in life, things we are focused on, aware of. They seem to be the subject matter. The card opposite of that are the hidden things going on, unconscious programming or influences of others, things we're just not aware of but are equally driving the ship. And to the left is our analytical wisdom. It's also the past, where we're coming from, how we process things mentally, what we think about them. To the right is our emotional wisdom, our intuition, where we are headed to and how we feel about things that are happening. And in the center is the actual theme, the energetic impulse, what's tying things together, what you're working on as a spirit, or sometimes the resolution. So, oh, there's another card right there. I'm just going to set aside because it may be actually in play. We will see. We will see if this is complete or if it needs to be picked up. So. All right, the top card is ripeness. This is the card of perfect harvest. You are probably aware that the season has turned to fall. It's time to collect, both on just an energetic matching level. It's time to harvest those things that you've been creating. Time to allow for the season change. But I also see that this card is about timing and about making sure that you are collecting the opportunities and doing things in the moment that they are ripe. Because if it gets overripe and falls off the tree and lands on the ground and turns to mush, it is of no longer any value. So don't let your fear of whether it's the right decision, the right time, be aware of timing, but don't let your fear keep you from waiting. Keep you in that moment of not quite yet. It may be exactly the right time to harvest, to make that change, to make those decisions. So allow yourself to gather in the rewards of what you've created, and don't let fear hold you back. And you're, like I said, probably very aware of this because this is the top card at that point. But things are ripe. It's time for harvest. Opposite of that, again, I was just looking at that fear energy. Courage. Now is the time to be brave. Now is the time to take the actions that you need to take, that you've been waiting for. You've been waiting. And now is the time to take the action and to allow yourself that experience of what's next. You know, when you harvest something in, you get to have it. You get to eat it. You get to store it. You get to enjoy the rewards. And sometimes it takes courage to allow yourself to have that moment of recognition, reward, and benefit. And even if what you're harvesting in isn't everything you hoped, if the harvest is not as plentiful as you like, now is still the time to harvest. So have the courage to take the action. Don't wait, because if you wait, the moment will slip by and it will be worthless to you. All right, the card to the left, our mental wisdom, analytical wisdom, where we're coming from, how we think about things. This is the Four of Water. It was upside down, which they're saying is significant. It's tuning in. And what I see really upside down here, but above her head, is that input I was talking about, that outer input of things that want to take things from you. And right now, as this card is upside down and it is significant, it's that you are not tuning in to your own thoughts. You are letting everybody else's chatter distract you, overwhelm you, and keep you from yourself. So be very, very, very aware as you're thinking through things. Is that really what's important to me right now? Is that really what I think, what I believe? Is that coming from me, or is that something I am matching on an energetic level? Am I diving into the pool just because? Am I jumping off the cliff just because everybody else is? Don't let the outer chatter distract you. Clear your mind. Blow up the hamster wheel. It's not even a matter of getting off of it. Just blow it up. Quiet your mind. If you can't quiet your mind, find help. Find somebody that can help lead you through meditation or prayer. Find a different way of approaching the world. Take a time out. Give to yourself. All of those things come into play. So, to the right is our emotional wisdom, our intuition, where we're headed to, and how we feel about things. This card is titled Maturity. What I'm seeing here is that just like you are very aware of the changing of the seasons on an annual basis, you're also aware of on an intuitive level, of where you have grown into, and that you are becoming mature and ripe, and the next phase may be less about growth as about enjoying where you are. And it's also that you have the perspective through experience to know that everything isn't black and white, only one way, only one thing, that there are many places around the circle that you can view an event from, and that every place around that circle is going to have a slightly different view. So intuitively, you understand all of these things, and they're coming into play. You may not have the words or the thoughts to express them out, and they are going straight against the chatter or against, like I said, if you tune out, if you turn off the social media, your life may be really, really full and rich. And you may be ready to enjoy all of that. And intuitively you know that. But your mind may be full of other people's chatter. So disconnect the mind from the chatter. Tune in. Find out what your true thoughts are. Disconnect from society a little bit. So, okay. And in the center? Fighting. This is that fight or flight response. This is actually, as long as news has existed, their whole goal is to put you into stress and fight and flight, and to see what's next, because that's what keeps you buying, keeps you tuned into what they're doing. The divisiveness in this nation right now is huge, and there are outside forces feeding that. So notice if you are in a state of fight because it's how you really feel, or if again you are matching a society energy, if you are matching some sort of group agreement. And I do see where these group agreements are coming up so that we can see where we really are on this planet as humanity. And we can really see the areas that we still need and want to work on, that we haven't gotten to where we thought we were, for many of us. And that certainly discussion and things help facilitate that growth. But digging in your heels and taking a stance and turning to anger and hate and fighting it just because somebody isn't standing on the same spot of the circle as you are and has a different view is not serving you. So notice how much you are just matching this fighting effort, destructive energy, and whether you want to be. Are you mismatching chatter? Or can you tune in and notice the fullness and the ripeness that is truly present in your life? And can you appreciate them, and can you have them? So let me see what this card is, because I do believe that it goes along with the center card. I fully see where this is where a lot of us are stuck right now. And for many of us, it's a false energy. It's a false energy being pushed at us and fed to us. And if we keep eating it, we're going to be in that all the time. So, and the other card is possibilities. So again, instead of entrenching and noticing the differences and wanting to fight, certainly discussion, noticing the differences, using it to constructively elevate, to understand each other, and to understand how you truly feel about something, what you truly think about something, that's great. But don't entrench. Don't dig in your heels just because. Expand your awareness, both for the possibilities of other people's perspectives, but also the possibilities for your own life, for your own growth, for your own awareness. Allow yourself to have that maturity. And yet, maturity doesn't mean the end. There are still lots that can be experienced in those last seasons of maturity. Lots of places you can go, things you can do, people you can interact with. So really, I see this just being about realizing where you are, what you have, how your life really is, tuning out, unmatching from the social chatter, and figuring out if you have the courage to be who you are and experience life the way it is for you, regardless of what's happening for anybody else. And if you can also expand enough to see that everyone doesn't have to be on the same spot with the same vision as you. That we can all be unique and diverse and still come together into wholeness, the wholeness of humanity, growing and supporting each other. So, all right, those places of opposites. Take care. Have a blessed week. Allow yourself to tune in and unmatch from the world and discover your life for what it is. Be blessed.